Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, Vancouver's best auto service experience, 18-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver, as voted by their customers. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing fantastic today.
So we're going to talk about a BMW M3, which is the V8 model from 2011. So what was happening with this ultimate ticket machine?
So the client came in and the brakes were worn out. So we did some brake repairs on the vehicle.
Okay, so brake wear is pretty normal on all cars. What's unique about these ones?
Well, I'd say what's unique about this being an M3, it's a sports model of a 3 Series BMW. The brakes are big. They're meant to stop fast. The car's got a V8 in it, whereas most have 6 cylinders. Some even have 4s. So it's meant to stop the car fast. The car accelerates fast, stops fast. It's all part of the performance expectation of having a car like this. And a lot better than a lot of old American cars used to be, where they'd have a lot of horsepower but not a lot of stopping power. Anyway, so let's have a look at these brakes, because they're pretty large is kind of the key thing here. So let's have a look at a few photos. So start. This is the rear brake. This is the old system. This is before we removed anything from the vehicle. So you can see, there's nothing here for comparison, but it's a pretty large. If you see the caliper here, the brake rotor and disc is large. They're all cross-drilled rotors, which allows for more airflow. Get on to our next picture here. This is the front brake rotor. Again, a view with the before the rotor is removed. You can see a bit of these shiny areas, the actual original thickness of the brakes, and the typical of a lot of European vehicles, the rotors wear quite heavily in the inner areas. The pads are hard, the rotors are a little softer, and they tend to wear the rotors pretty hard. So you'll get some people in European vehicles, they stick just pads in. Not a good idea, because you're putting it on a surface that's not even. It's very a very uneven surface, so it takes a while for the brakes to wear in, and they never work quite as well as they could if you did them the other way around. One more view we have here. This is a brand new rotor. You can see again the cross drilling and the inside view of the rotor. There's a lot of interesting technology here for airflow through the rotor. Again, it's kind of part and parcel of what you get with one of these cars.
Okay, even though we don't have something to compare with, those components look pretty large. So I imagine this is a pretty expensive service.
Yeah, I mean, there's a variety of pricing. I mean, once you start getting into the higher performance cars, especially the European vehicles, there's certainly a big price jump in rotors. These are not the craziest price rotors, but so the brake job on this was definitely more than you spend on a 3 Series BMW, but not as much as some cars are.
So you didn't really mention any pricing, I guess. How expensive can rotors get?
Well, there are some AMG Mercedes. The rotors are $1,200 a piece, like an SL55, an SLK 55. Some of them, depends on which brake package you have. They have the brake rotors are $1,200 a piece, which is a crazy amount of money. But they have different brake packages, so some have them, some don't. Also, when you get into cars like certain Aston Martins, some high-end Porsches, again, they have really expensive brake rotors. You can usually tell by looking at them the way they're built. The actual rotors, there's bolts around the edge of the hub, a number of them, and you can those are usually the really expensive type of rotor.
So why would some rotors cost over $1,000 each?
Yeah, but each, that's the key word. I mean, some of it is exclusivity, but the other is the metal they're made out of. Some of them use carbon composites. I'm not sure of all the exact metallurgy, but they're pretty high tech materials where they resist fade. They can dissipate the heat extremely fast, and that's what you're paying for with these kind of brake rotors. They don't necessarily last any longer. They can handle the heat better. So if you're going 100 miles an hour and you nail the brakes over and over, you're gonna keep stopping, and that's really the advantage of that. But how many people really do that? It's a bit overkill, but having good braking is important.
So these M3s have a pretty awesome reputation. How are they for reliability?
I'd say really good. You know, if you want to get a nice high performance sports car, they're excellent vehicles. You'll certainly spend more money than you would on an average type of car. I always say this, you know, European, you'll generally spend more money than you will on a Japanese car, but you know, for a performance machine, that's a fantastic car. Really nice, especially with the V8 engine.
So there you go. If you're looking for service for your BMW M3 in Vancouver, the guys to see are Pawlik Automotive. You can reach them at 604-327-7112. Check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com, or check out our YouTube channel. We've got hundreds of videos on there. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.